I'm Andrea Ivory, your host of Living for Longevity, a podcast designed to help you live your best life, presented by the Women's Breast and Heart Initiative, a nonprofit organization that transforms and saves lives through disease prevention and early detection. Featured will be stories of triumph over tragedy, lifestyle experts, strategies to help you live a disease-deterrent lifestyle, and resources to help you along the way so that you can live your best life and enjoy more time with family members and friends doing the things that you love to do. Well, I am so honored to introduce our esteemed guest, Lucy Morillo. Lucy is an accomplished attorney, a philanthropist, a nonprofit thought and community leader. She is also a magazine publisher, and she's the co-founder of LMA, a company that is focused on nonprofit organizational success. And if that's not enough, most recently, Lucy was named CEO of Urban X, a company focused on urban air mobility. Yes, air taxis in Miami. Lucy, I don't know, but I am so grateful that you took time from your busy schedule to join us. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. It's really an honor and a pleasure to be here with you today.
Thank you. Well, Lucy, with February being American Heart Month and also hosted the grandest day of love in the year, Valentine's Day, this episode is truly timely because it is a matter of the heart. Now,
I love it.
Let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
So, Lucy, please tell us more about yourself.
Oh my goodness, with that introduction that I'm so humbled for, don't know what else to say other than everything I do from the heart. I have been in this community for about 23 years and I have been honored to take part on a lot of transformational change and drives that have kind of shaped the person that I am and the direction that my career and my personal life has taken. So, this is what fuels me to do all those things that you said that I do from the heart.
You are so accomplished. What has driven you to be so accomplished?
Well, my family history, the values that came from my family, the experiences that I had gone through in my life, they have really motivated me to be the person that I am today and to follow this path of inspiration that has led to a degree of success that I could share with my family again.
Wonderful.
Circular.
Yes. And so tell us about some of your experiences growing up.
So let me tell you, we keep talking about heart. Heart it's extremely important to me beyond the beauty of being symbolized by the color red, which I love, and the beauty of love, right, which is at the core of everything I do. I like to do everything with love and kindness and mindfulness. But heart disease has impacted my life directly because when I was 9 years old, it was discovered that I actually was born with a congenital heart problem. And my understanding is that the survival rate for kids with this issue that I had, if discovered by after 5-year-old, it dropped to 20%. So it's truly a miracle, which honors the name that my mother gave me. My name is Lucy, but it's light miracle, Luz Milagro in Spanish, because it was truly a miracle. Bottom line is that I was very blessed that they discovered it, even at the age of 9, and that kind of shaped the rest of my life. Right after that discovery at 9, shortly after that, my father at the ripe age of 47, passed of a stroke as well. And so I became my mom's main support, and took a lot of responsibilities that I think helped me mature a little faster than the average young lady. I had a great role model that was my brother. I have only one brother who enrolled in the military to kind of help with our situation at the time, and but even from a distance, he was very supportive. I'm very much an important part of everything that we were doing, and it helped me mature and kind of prioritize the things that are important in life, and realize that being resilient, you can really and discipline, you can really accomplish many things. And I think that permeates through everything that I am and everything that I have done ever since.
Super touching. Very touching. Well, how has being so successful impacted your life?
Well, I tell you, I don't consider myself so successful. I consider myself truly blessed. I think having those experiences shaped my life in a way that has given me the opportunity to prioritize and create a structure that has allowed me to do this, and accomplish all of these things. Right now, I am running 3 companies, and I'm also the president of the International Women's Forum. And so I'm essentially running four organizations, and I have been able to do that with discipline and resiliency. You cannot let things get on the way, and because otherwise you won't be living your best life. And the way that you live your best life is by being in the moment. So one of those tools that I have used in my life is mindfulness, and you've experienced it with us when we did some mindful-based stress reduction training, which is MBSR, and it's really at the core of many of the things that I've done in many of our companies. In LMA, for example, which is a consultancy and marketing agency that assist for purpose entities, which I will talk about being purposeful, which is my second priority. So being mindful, being resilient, and making sure that everything you do with purpose. And so when you're mindful, one of the tools used to be mindful for mindfulness is meditation. Mm-hmm. Meditation is very important to me. It's the first thing I do in the morning. The way that I see it, when you meditate, the communication goes from there down. When you pray, the communication goes from here up. So it's the first thing I do. Gratefulness is very important to me. And all of those things feed your heart. And when you were talking about heart prevention and heart wellness, it's really important that it starts with you. It starts in the morning. It starts with your spirit. It starts with your soul. Then being resilient is just realizing that, whatever, being in the moment, which is also a part of mindfulness, gives you the opportunity to be resilient, because you realize that everything that has happened in the past already passed, and everything that is going to happen in the future hasn't happened yet, and it makes you be in the moment. And when you're in the moment, then that's where I think you will find that level of relaxation that we need to calm our blood pressure down, to be able to breathe, to be able to set a course for the day, and to accomplish all of those things, because all those things are going to be there. Is how you're going to get to
how you handle it.
How you handle them.
Absolutely.
That's a long answer to your question.
But it was a very thought-provoking answer. Well, heart disease is the leading cause of death in both men and women living in America. 90% of women have one or more risk factors for heart disease, mm-hmm. and are completely unaware of the threat that they face. Yeah. And unfortunately, often it is said that men are diagnosed 10 years earlier than women with heart disease. So now, Lucy, Tell me some of the challenges you face when working on your heart disease journey.
So my heart disease journey, and I knew you were going to get here because you're going to make me cry. My brother that I have shared played such an important role in my upbringing was taken away. What I'm going to rephrase that. I'm going to say that moved to another space at the ripe age of 67 to a heart attack. And when we first started this conversation offline, I said to you the heart disease and heart prevention is very important to me personally, because in my mind, given what I've experienced when I was little, it should have been me. It wasn't supposed to be my brother. He was healthy, exercised, but I don't think that he was as good at taking care of the stress levels as he should have. Quite admirable. I mean, Vietnam vet, gave to the community, talking about purpose. I learned that from him and my mom, that whatever you do, make sure you give back. Whatever you go, make sure that you leave things better than you find them. And so, an exceptional human being, but heart attack in the middle of the night with a physician that is his wife laying next to him and another physician in the room next door, and we couldn't bring him back because that's how heart disease is. We talk about many diseases and silent diseases, but heart disease is quite traumatic when it hits you as a family, when it hits you so close. So it continues to shape my priorities. So it is one of my priorities to make sure that I can impart or share in the most humble way how to combat, or at least help people get the tools to alleviate the stress levels, to make sure that you stay hydrated, to make sure that you eat properly, to, like we say in the aviation industry, which is my newest industry, right? I'm one of the few now Hispanic women in aviation as a CEO, that you put your mask on first, because self-care is extremely important. And so I said earlier, in the morning, the first thing I do is I meditate, I pray, I take time, and then I do yoga. And then after I do yoga, then I go about my day. But I have to do that first, and you have to be disciplined enough to have a commitment to yourself, because through your day, you will be challenged. But you have to stay and make sure that you eat and stay hydrated.
Well, based on your own personal experiences, and they are vast and varied, could you please share something that can help our audience be prepared to live a disease-deterrent lifestyle?
I think from my experience, it's extremely important that you are mindful. Stay in the moment and focus on those things that you can control. Put your mask on first.
Mask on first.
Make sure that you think about it. The principle makes a lot of sense. It's very simple. I even wear an earring that says KISS, which is keep it simple, silly.
Okay.
Keep it But keep it simple. Put your mask on first just means you won't be able to take care of everybody else if you don't take care of yourself first.
Absolutely.
You have to secure your well-being first. And that starts by getting enough rest, staying hydrated, simple things. Getting enough rest, staying hydrated, eat healthy food, try not to eat, processed food, and stay in the moment, understanding that life is going to throw a lot of stuff your way. I mean, it has been since I was born. You are going to go through diseases, unforeseeable circumstances, divorces, changes of job, many great opportunities that still cause stress, but you can only focus on the things that you're going through at that moment in time. is the principle of mindfulness. Look at it with beginner's eyes. Remember that? And non-judgment, right? Don't judge the circumstance. Just be in the moment. And that will give you the opportunity. I find sometimes with the meditation in the mindfulness that you sometimes think, well, I don't have time to do that. If you don't take time, if you don't have 15 minutes to meditate and 15 minutes to exercise, then out of the 24 hours a day, if you're going to take half an hour for yourself, you got bigger problems. So it is extremely important that you do that. And for me, I think that those are tools to success. I find that if I meditate or I live a mindful, structured, disciplined, and resilient life, time expands.
Yes, it does.
And it gives me more time to do things that I want to do and those things that I need to do.
Awesome. Well, education is key.
Yeah.
And knowledge is power.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share with our audience some common risk factors for heart disease that we're, unaware of. First of all, common risk factors are high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high glucose, which is also called sugar, physical inactivity. We talked about Paul. He was physically active. You're physically active. I saw you in that cute little golf outfit. Physically active. Smoking. That is a risk factor. Obesity is another risk factor for heart disease. Excessive alcohol consumption. I'm not saying don't drink. Right, no judgment. That's not what we're here for. No. But excessive alcohol consumption is a risk factor. And you talked about stress. Yeah. I can't stress enough.
Stress. We're playing on words together.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Stress is not good for your heart.
Yeah.
It is just not.
Yeah. But knowing your body is interesting you say that, because not only heart disease is in my genetic makeup. And because my mom actually had a quadruple bypass as well, so it's in the genetic makeup. And when I tell you heart prevention is very important to me, it's really important to me. But I mentioned my dad who died
at a stroke, and that's related.
And so I have also blood pressure, like high blood pressure, and I had preeclampsia when I had my son, which, as you know, is my everything, yes. my pride and joy. It is extremely important that you're aware of your body and the signs your body sends to you when something is off. So if I am, even though I do all of that with this genetic predisposition, if I feel my blood pressure is going high, I know when my blood pressure is going high.
Right. You have to be attuned and
you have to be attuned, because I sense it in my ears, and I know. I take my blood pressure, and what do? I meditate. It's
very important.
Drink a lot of water.
It's so important that you know your body. It is very important, and it is recommended that you begin screening.
Yes.
So that you begin screening. Screening for hypertension starting at age 18.
Yeah.
18 years old.
Absolutely.
Cholesterol at age 20.
Yeah.
You need to start screening for sugar, blood glucose at 35.
Yeah. And keep your medical appointments. Some people skip.
Yes. Yeah. Look, knowing your heart healthy numbers are key to detecting heart disease at its earliest stages when it's treatable and beatable. Now, there are some things that you can do to lower your risk. We've been talking about a lot of them, but let me do a recap for our audience. Some preventable strategies include 150 minutes of physical activity each week. Notice I didn't say go to the gym, because people don't want to go to the gym.
No, it's that half an hour I was telling you. Right. I do this in my bedroom.
There you go. Make it simple. But you get your 150 minutes every week. And then incorporating more fruits and vegetables into your diet, and reducing carbohydrates. Oh my gosh, potatoes, rice, things that we love, but we have to be mindful. And sugars. You have to reduce your sugars. It is so important. And limiting your alcohol intake. I did not say abstain.
I love wine.
There you go, wine.
One glass of wine a day is proven to
That's
be
it.
healthy.
Helpful.
But
Yes.
nothing to the
Excessive.
extremes is ever
Excessive.
good.
Correct. Now, you did mention sleep.
Yeah.
It's very important that you get at least 7 hours of sleep every night.
Yeah.
And for us, oh my gosh.
You mean the menopause? No. It's challenging,
It's
but you got to
challenging,
do whatever
but
you
have
need to do. Yeah.
You absolutely have to do that. Reducing your stress is so important. I loved how you talked about meditating because it is a stress, and breathing.
Yeah,
breathing
breathing.
is so important to reduce stress. And for God's sake, don't smoke
No, that's a no.
cigars,
Yeah.
cigarettes,
Yeah, no.
vaping. Our lungs were meant for one thing: air.
Breathe. Air.
Air.
I love it.
That's it. That's it. Now, sadly, 1 in 3 women dies from heart disease every year, and 1 in 4 men dies from heart disease every year. The statistics are alarming,
Staggering.
but there is good news. Prevention and early detection saves lives. 1 in 3, 1 in 4. Don't be the one. Help the Women's Breast and Heart Initiative save the one. You know, in closing, I just want to tell our listening audience that it's stories like yours, Lucy, and faces like yours, that beautiful face,
Thank you.
that make people sit up and stand up and take notice. So that messaging that we're just doing is so important. And I just want to give special thanks for some of the people who have made this moment possible. And there's this one gentleman by the name of Moritz Acosta. He is a high school student. Not only is he a high school student, but he also has his own nonprofit organization.
Oh my goodness, so impressive.
He is so impressive.
That's
He
fabulous.
focuses on his generation and teaching them about civic engagement and preparing them to be the next leaders in our government, which we definitely need some new young people. Okay, so Moritz is going to be prepared to lead our country, and he has been responsible for this podcast. He has been nudging me along to do this podcast, so I couldn't thank him enough. And then here we are in the town of Miami Lakes. We have Mayor Manny Sid. This is his office. We are in his
Love
office. And this is his studio. Who has a studio, a podcast studio in their office?
I love it.
And he opens it up to the community. So I couldn't thank him enough for opening up his heart and literally his home.
Thank you.
Thank you. And to our inspiring guest,
Oh,
Lucy Morillo. Keep smiling, keep shining, keep inspiring, keep serving, and keep living your best life because you are our light.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
So I am your host, Andrea Ivory. Tune in next month for another episode of Living for Longevity, a podcast designed to help you live your best life, presented by the Women's Breast and Heart Initiative, a nonprofit organization that transforms and saves lives through disease prevention and early detection. You can visit us at flbreasthealth.com, or we are social on Facebook, Instagram, and X, and we're also on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us, and until next time, live your best life.